So obviously, I'm an Overwatch fan. Considering that my first list out video was on damaged characters of Overwatch, I figured why not continue that trend. And especially with Overwatch 2 in big talks with trailers and movie descriptions already, I think it's time to get this ranking out. Now, I'm not gonna hold you. Damage was not my forte, but tanks are my bread and butter. And with the addition of Sigma, I'm happy to say, what up everyone, it's D.va, and I think it's time to rank all the tanks from worst to best. There are 8 tank heroes, and honestly I made a special scale just to analyze them, so I wouldn't be biased on and just pick Hammond as the worst tank because I never use him. And honestly, I'm surprised about what I got on my chart. Considering that it was based off my friends / my opinion, I got different results from what I expected. So there are categories that different tanks excel in that balance tanks in my opinion. And I'm actually happy how it went. Mobility, practicality, and ultimate. Mobility, obviously how fast and often a character can move or potentially move. Practicality, in my opinion, the most important feature here. Basically, how useful a character is in battle, how many people they can pair with, how good they can be by themselves, and of course, how much they are to use of their teammates, because this, of course, is a team-based game. And last, and middle importance, ultimate, because of course the ultimate that a tank have can drastically change the battle in their favor, or basically not change shit at all, and are very easily avoidable. So, in last place, which kinda surprises me, but now analyzing it, not really. Roadhog. Mobility 1, practicality 2.5, and ultimate 3. Which, thinking about it, makes sense. Does anybody actually think of Roadhog as being a tank? Or a big ass self-healing bullet sponge that for some reason has no armor but has more health than Reinhardt, who is literally covered in heavy ass armor? In my opinion, and actually it's not even just my opinion, he's a big ass DPS character in the tank position. In practicality, his abilities mainly help only himself out in situations, and only the real people you can pair him with is Orisa, and that's safely, or Sigma, or Ryan if you're lucky to have some DPS and heals to back him up. In small battles where you're attacking, you actually can pair him up with Zarya, because Zarya really looks out for him in small situations, but I wouldn't really depend too much on it, because when you're delivering the payload or doing anything else, no, you mostly need a shield tank. So honestly, yeah, it makes sense that he's last. He's not useless, but besides his ult just really blowing people away and leaving him vulnerable unless his enemies have low health or he's amped up or damage boosted, Roadhog, last place. So now coming in above that by 1 point is Winston. Mobility 4, practicality 2.5, and that ultimate is an abysmal 1. Now here's the thing. Like I said in the intro, mobility is the least important category because in a lot of cases, it helps out the character themselves. But I had to put practicality at 2.5 because his shield makes it to where if your team is diving and everybody is fighting in a small area with double shields, Winston electricity can easily take out the squishies while damaging other tanks. That could get taken out by everybody else. So in battle he's not useless, and he's also a distraction tank. With his mobility like Wrecking Ball, but unlike Wrecking Ball, he's not as mobile. And the thing that also drags him down to 7th place is that ultimate. Does anyone actually get affected by this ult? Unless you're squishy near the corner with no health or any healing even coming near your way, or if you're on the edge, who does this really affect? Seriously. Now at number 6, Zarya. Mobility 1, obviously. Practicality 3, and ultimate 4. Mobility is self-explanatory. She can't move any faster than her default speed, but it's not really like she needs it. In battle with the proper shield tank pair and proper bubble management, she can get so powerful that she can wipe non-tank characters out with ease when storming the point. Zarya and Reinhardt is the dream pair when it comes to attack. There's a reason why they work so well together. Zarya bubbles Ryan while he's without a shield or charging in. Ryan shields Zarya while Zarya provides damage from behind said shield. Zarya's ultimate a 4 because it pairs with nearly every DPS ult and can easily squad wipe because of it. The only thing that knocks it back from being perfect is the fact that it does nothing to the enemy team if nobody or the people with useless ults or abilities are around when the ult is being used. And the thing that brings her down to a 3 is the fact that she's a secondary tank. That means that she really can't defend her whole team, and Zarya is not the type of tank that sets the front line for the team to fight on. Her shields can't protect the team even if she's fully powered up, and without shield tanks or proper heals, she can easily get blown away. Now at 5, I'm actually a little disappointed because it's one of my mains, but it's actually the new character Sigma. Mobility 1, practicality out of 4, and it's all at a 3. Honestly, with Sigma, the only thing that brings him down in this scaling is his mobility, but then again, of course it makes sense. It's almost like, why with the floating characters it feel like they move so damn slow? Like, I mean, they move at everybody else's speed, but for some reason it just feels like I put that shit at a 0.5 for him and Zenyatta. But other than that, he really wouldn't be this low if I didn't have the mobility skill here. Same with a lot of overall practical heroes here. But his overall practicality, a 4. I honestly had to put it at a 4. He could be a main tank and a side tank. Ever since he came into the game has exploded with the Sigma Orisa comp and the Sigma Ryan comp. It's so bad that, in fact, they literally gave Orisa their first nerf and put a second delay on the time which Sigma could throw his shield. Side note, they're also about to implement a patch, I think it's probably tomorrow, or I don't know, where they're gonna nerf their shields again. So just keep in mind, this is before that patch. So I do not know, these are the tank rankings based on before that. But anyway, like I said, though that nerf was annoying, and I'm sure it might get worse, we don't know, it's still something you gotta get through as Sigma. But it definitely makes it slightly worse than when to play him, but really nothing game changing. His ultimate, not really too fantastic, but it can be deadly if used correctly. And trust me, it definitely can be a game changer if you're using while tag teaming with the ult like D.va by simply lifting everyone off the ground while letting D.va slot her ult in, so when they come down and sit on that nice ass D.va bomb. Honestly, still, even as I type this script, and I'm sure as I read it off and grab the gameplay for this character, it doesn't change how shocked I feel. But in 4th place, it's Wrecking Ball. Mobility at a perfect 5 out of 5. Practicality at a 2, which makes sense, and his ult also at a 2, and I'll tell you why. Even though Hammond can do devastating damage along with his slam, a lot of the time it just fills the area and you can easily dance right out of it. Like, really, who gets hit by it if they wasn't pushed into it? Matter of fact, think about how many times a Hammond actually slammed before he ulted, and somehow, by some miracle, you probably hit one mine and got safe. Now compare that to actually dying to Hammond's ult. Now think, why did you die from his ult? Chances are, he hit his ult, then made a loop around and slammed you with his grapple into the mines. Or you was low health and that one mine actually got you and killed you, right? But let's not forget the fact that Reinhardt can literally just walk with his shield through his ult and detonate all the bombs so nobody else has to get killed. Practicality at a 2, because let's be frank, what's Hammond without his mobility? I mean, the instant Amelia, Brigitte, Orisa, Sombra, Anna, McCree comes into the mix and stops his movement, what that shield gonna do? Let him survive for a few more seconds, if that? But the reason why he's this high is the fact that his mobility does complement everything he does. His mobility and his shitty practicality, it suits what he does. Protects himself while he disrupts the enemy's flow. Basically to be the dick to the other team so his team could take him out. Alright, top 3, and I'm proud and surprised. And I had to change this around a bunch, but in the end, these 3 came out on top. So, at number 3, Reinhardt. Now, in the initial draft that I made, he was almost at the bottom. But after a lot of reconsideration and refreshing my skills with Reinhardt and talking to other people, I think this spot suits him. Alright, so mobility is at a middle 2.5. Practicality, I actually bumped this up to a 3. It was a 2 and I'll explain why in a second. And his glorious ultimate, well, sorta, it's a 4. So mobility, it's in the middle, not exactly a 3 because a 3 and up means you depend on it in your gameplay. For most of the times, the only time you use charge is to tackle players, get to the point faster from spawn. I mean, his charge from spawn does get him pretty far, even to where if Lucio's not there, he could be the first one at the point. Now, the reason why I had his practicality at a 2 in my first draft is because honestly, ever since the Orisa Sigma craze started going around, it just felt like Ryan was getting irrelevant. Chances are the other team could have said duo in a Junkrat and a Bastion because they're getting desperate, and we all know who you are. You're not low. Like, you can really suck an ass and just obliterate your shield, and your DPS is 2 fucking snipers. Your healers are secondary healers pumping their hearts out, or not. You know how to go in competitive. And I'm in fucking platinum. It never changes. Point being, you're on attack and you're pushing a payload Havana, and you push to a certain point on the push or payload Havana, and now the payload / capture point is in the enemy's possession, and you try to regroup with your team, but like I just said, you're getting your ashes handed to you over there, and none of these dickheads want to change Havana, and now you're trying to make a way to said point, but the other team does have a sniper with that Bastion, and your teammates are getting picked off, and your sniper DPS is getting their asses handed to them, and you lose the game, Havana. But that's when I honestly forgot that this man is my second most used hero for a reason. When your teammates do know what they're doing and you're a good Reinhardt, not just a Reinhardt that puts up his shield, he can honestly wreck shit. Okay, so his shield is at 2000. It's basically main tank number 2 compared to Orisa. Spoiler alert. His shield is the shield that sets the choke line. And if you're attacking aggressively with your team and getting your opponent's faces and just hear that glorious sound of hammer to body, or get that lucky tackle when you're close enough to someone, or catch a Moira that just launched their ult, or catch a Lucio from a far range tackle while being bubbled up by a Zarya, and then out of nowhere getting amped up by an Anna, and just wrecking the swishies that is your opponents. He is a joy to use when shit goes smoothly for once. But the big joy of Ryan is his ult, and the fact that it's one of the best ultimates in the game. Ooh, his ult. When it lands and leaves everybody staggered and wide open for the few seconds, they're definitely charge worthy, while the enemy is just laying on the floor helpless, knowing that the Ryan might tackle them or kill them, or someone else might ult. Man, in Overwatch, a single second never felt so long in such a fast-paced game, so imagine at least 6 seconds on the floor. Oh yeah, your team can get easily swiped. But the one big thing that puts his ult at a 4, and especially in this meta, or well, not I think about any meta, is that shield stop is ultimate. Now, fellow Reinhardt means, think back with me. You're fighting to the point with your shield up, and you finally get to that choke. Your team destroys the enemy shield, and everyone's wide open, and you just decide to press your triangle, and boom, Orisa pops out another shield. May drops her wall. Sigma has 1 HP of shield left and drops it. Your whole ult becomes useless, and your team can get wiped out all because you're now left wide open. Yep. I'm gonna just move on because that's a huge ass weakness. But at number 2, at another surprise for me. But then again, it makes me happy that I made this scale, because then it wouldn't be completely based on my preference. But it's D.va. D.va, yup. Mobility at an impressive 4. Okay, future D-Mac here. With this new patch, D.va's mobility is really about to earn its fall, because now it's getting buffed for a 6-second cooldown to a 3-second cooldown. Practicality at a 3, and ult at a 3 as well. I guess I'll just start with the ult, because that might be the most surprising to some, but to experienced player, they know why it's not much higher. I remember when I was first playing Overwatch, and I swore that D.va needed to be nerfed. Her abilities were so OP, and this was before the design change, so just keep that in mind. Her ultimate could literally wipe out the whole team. They truly do matchmake you with people of your skill, because we were all ass. And I vowed never to use it for any reason, because it feel like it was easy mode. Good times, because now that ult don't feel like shit. I mean, my god, yes, it's a bomb that can detonate the whole team and have different ways of being thrown into battle, and that's what brings it to a 3. But remember how I said the thing that brings down Ryan's ult was the shield thing? Yeah, but imagine fucking every solid object in the game can shield you from this ult. At least Reinhardt slams could catch someone on or around the payload. Like, my guy, the only thing that you can use this ult in high level for is to get the team away from the payload. And even that wouldn't work, because you can literally crouch by the payload to avoid it. And yeah, it can be used to get a pick or two on the 2 helpless players that couldn't move out the way fast enough and didn't have anything to shield them with, Zenyatta. Or tag team with other ults like Reinhardt, Sigma, Sombra, or even Anna's anti-nade. But if you don't time it good enough or give them even 2 seconds to move, you'll mess that opportunity up. Practicality also at a 3, because again, she's not a main tank, but she's also the safest second tank choice you can have. She uses her mobility to rush players that are straying off and to snap back into action as quickly as possible. But with a 6-second cooldown and a 3-second flight, it only makes sense that her mobility is at a 4. The main reason why D.va and Winston and him are the dive crew. And you have to give credit to her matrix. You want to stop Mei's ult? Shoot your matrix. Shields down on Orisa and Orion and they need breathing room? Use your matrix. Reaper about to drop on the team with his ult? Use your matrix. Pharah's about to use her ult? Use your matrix. But yeah, it's time to move on. But now to the number 1 spot, finally. And since I'm ranking every tank, obviously there's no honorable mentions. So at number 1, it has to be the tank armor cow herself, Orisa. Future D-Mac here. Now, this is after the legendary shield nerf, which I was trying to get the video before that, but I got a cold, so that didn't happen. But Orisa's still practical. Even though her shield is nerfed to 600, her health was increased, and I think her armor was increased as well. And I've been getting used to alternating between the 2, and she could still be a good tank now. But in the future, they're going to nerf her armor back down. It's annoying because Orisa has always been meta tank no matter what, and they're trying to nerf her to the ground, and it's annoying. But I'm trying to get this video before that nerf happens. So mobility at a 1, practicality at a 4.5, and ultimate is also at a 4.5. While not completely perfect, not 5s, and her mobility is garbage, Orisa's not meant to be a mover tank. She's literally the tank that stands her ground, and her abilities complement that statement almost perfectly. Practicality at 4.5, now that might sound weird, but that's really 9 out of 10, so it earns that 9 for many reasons. Her ult literally stops people from moving away, and you could drag people down if they decide to be little bitches and hide on top and spam Junkrat, Hanzo, Widowmaker. Granted, Widow and Hanzo are snipers, so they get a pass, but a very slight one. Doomfist in my face? What Doomfist? Junkrat trying to jump down on you and lands near you with a C4? What Junkrat? Someone tries to run away and they're almost dead? Ho! Pull them back and let the team take care of their ass. Hammond being annoying? Stop him from moving and let the team have a field day on his big ass. Squishy's trying to split apart so they can start flanking? Nah, everyone front and center now. And that's just her Hulk. That's one fucking ability. Shield? Obviously, that's the reason why she's not meant to move. She used a shield in her Hulk and fortify to keep protection of yourself while the crowd controlling the enemy. And well, it's a shield. Well, only 600, and now it's a 10-second cooldown instead of a 9 before Sigma came in. And like I said, if in this game, a second feels like forever. But I mean, it's part of the package, so you kind of have to deal with it. Back to the point, her third ability, Fortify, literally makes her unmovable and can take more damage. Perfect for being the main counter against the Boot Brigade, even though she herself is the main tank for the Boot Brigade. And is the main reason she is the tank counter to Reinhardt. One false move and he could easily be wiped out by Orisa and her crew just because of her fortifying Hulk alone. Remember how I also said that practicality includes how well she benefits her team and works together with them? Name one tank that Orisa don't pair with. Done thinking? She's such a versatile tank that everyone pairs with her depending on different situations. So what stops Orisa from being a perfect 5 in practicality? That fucking reload. Now you may ask, come on D-Mac, reload, that's it? Well, you know, the shield, but we just talked about that. But yeah, that reload could be the deciding factor between your life and death if you get caught slipping because your shield got obliterated and you're not close enough to cover. Trust me when I say you're gonna feel every second of that reload as your life gets knocked off in those 3 seconds, if even 3 seconds at that. As for her ult, I know, that might be confusing as to why it's so high, but the practicality on its own is what puts it up here. We're talking about an ult that boosts everyone's damage output, no matter what they do. That includes damage boosting a lot of ults without Orisa having to dish the damage boost out herself, unlike Mercy, and it spreads to everyone in the area, unlike Baptiste. The thing that brings it to a 4.5 is its size, but at the same time, it kind of helps that it's small because it makes it hard to shoot with the right placement. So, what did you guys think about my tank ranking? Should my system be worked on? Do you think I should do healers next? Drop a like for support, or even better, sub. I have other rants, top 5s, and walkthroughs to bring back to the channel, and here's some for you to check out already. With that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. And side note, I'm sorry it actually took me so long to get this video out. I've been sick for a month, and then after that, my grandfather died, so we literally just been dealing with his funeral and everything, trying to get everything together with his funeral. And now that that's done, I feel like I can finally come back and finish this video and drop more videos and stuff. But please sub. And I also have a Facebook gaming live stream channel. I guess I'll just put that in the description as well. So peace out, guys.